Okay, we are live. Welcome back, everybody. Long time no see. This is the Lucent Truth at Lucent Oak Studios, and I am G Flux, your humble servant and host. And we have today Mr. Almighty Mutundo. Say what's up.
The Almighty One came to bless our lives.
Carbon X, say hello.
Hello.
Johnny Mozzarella, say what's up.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And King Supreme, welcome back.
Yeah, what's up, world?
All right, today we are going to watch the trailer for Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther. It's a new movie called Sinners, and it stars Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger himself, King Killmonger. All hell, Killmonger. Killmonger is in the movie, and we're going to take a look at it, give our reaction, and give our thoughts. So you guys tell me when you're ready, and I'll play the. Actually, let me share it first. See, let's go to present. Let's see. I think it's share screen. Share screen. And let's see. Sinners, audio tab. Yep. And share. All right. You guys see that?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm about to play it.
I've been all over this world. I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Hey, brother. Be careful. I will. With all the things that I seen, I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts, no magic. Till now. To get back inside.
Let me in, man. Some weird shit going on out here.
You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
All right. That is Ryan Coogler's Sinners. What you guys think? What do you guys think?
It reminds me.
Like, I'll say this. I don't know. The reason I'll say this. The reason why I'm intrigued is I don't know anything about what it's about. And I like that. I'm not looking at any reviews. I'm not reading anything. When I go to the movie, I want to be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Because this is something different from him. I think he made his name with Fruitvale Station. That's how he got his name as being a director. At least that's how his introduction, I believe, to the film world. And then his name became large with Black Panther and the second Black Panther movie, which I didn't see, and now we have this. Oh no, forget that. Before that was Creed, right? He did Creed before he did Black Panther.
He's Creed 1 and 2.
Yeah, so this is different. He's going into a horror side of things. I'm a big horror fan. It's getting close to Halloween. I might check this one out in theaters. What do you guys think?
I like the. Go ahead, look, Big O.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by like the the mysterious of it. So it's like, and also too that this is like his first horror film and things like that. And all. So yeah, I definitely was. It's definitely got me hooked. I'm interested. I put it like that. Interested in it, and I mean, I like movies where they kind of don't tell you everything. Kind of leave it like mysterious, like in the trailer. Like don't show like the whole movie, and you kind of know. So, but this it just got me interested. So, yeah. So I mean, I'm down for it.
Well, I like the visuals so far. I like the 1920s/30s.
Yeah, I think one of the things
backgrounds
because piece together there's certain things like clearly like some kind of voodoo element to it. It's called Sinners, and it looks like they're like in some kind of like juke joint type of thing. Because one of the things I noticed was, what's the chick's name that played in Bumblebee? It's like Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah,
Haley Steinfeld. You know who I'm talking about? She also played in True Grit. I think she's one of the youngest actresses to win an Oscar. What's her name? Haley Steinfeld? Is that her name? Yeah, Haley Steinfeld. And let's type in Sinners. If you notice, right? She's briefly there. She is right there. You see her briefly in the trailer. Mm-hmm. And at first I was like, why do they have her? Why is she in there? Two scenarios, right? One is, remember, white people used to go to these speeds because that's black people. That's where it was happening. Was in their clubs and stuff like that. All the good music came out of the black community, so white people would go there too. You know what I'm saying? They didn't mind slumming it up with black people, but so either she's a white woman who just likes going to those places, but if you look at her ancestry, like her real life ancestry, she's part black, part Jewish, and part Asian. So she might be like the light-skinned black woman that could pass as white. You know what I'm saying? Or she could be like an evil demon. I don't know. But when I saw her, I was like, well, not only is she a good actor, I mean, she's been in a lot of really good stuff. She played the voice of Spider-Gwen in the Spider-Verse movies. You know what I'm saying? But I think didn't she recently play Hawkeye's daughter or something like that? But seeing yeah, she was in the series. Seeing Michael B. Jordan, I think that there's gonna be some good acting in this, I think. And the other thing I noticed in the trailer was he clearly has a twin. Michael B. Jordan is playing two
have
parts.
You looked at have you looked at the movie poster? Have you looked at the movie poster?
I have. Yeah, one of them looks evil, the other one, like, I think this is it right here, right? Well, this is on the shirt, but it's similar.
No, that's not. Yeah, that is. That's
you
it.
You can kind of see him. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, that's it.
One has the red hat, one has the blue hat. So I don't know what the dynamics are. You could tell from the trailer he was also probably like in World War II. That's why he had a big old Tommy gun at the end. I'm intrigued. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Well, I like the aesthetic. I like the time period, and I like the mystery that they're not giving away too much. It kind of gives me the vibe of what's that? 30 Days a Night. It kind of gives me that vibe.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, it's kind of like 30 Days of Night mixed with Lovecraft Country, which I tried watching. I think I only got to like episode 4 or 5, but the acting was just so bad, and the show was just all over the place. It had a lot of potential, but this kind of gives me a similar feel to that because it's in the same time period. You know what I'm saying? But I like the fact this is a one shot because I think Lovecraft Country, because it was a series, it's almost like instead of just doing a straight story, they did like almost like an anthology, except it didn't take place in different times and different areas and different people. It was like it involved all the same characters, but it was basically an anthology series, but not an anthology series, and it didn't work for me. I just couldn't get into it.
Well, they're supposed to have more seasons, and as much money and attention that it drew, it didn't. They canceled it. I would like to see a continuation. Some shows, I want to, you give them a little bit more leeway to see if they can become better. But
yeah,
I just wanted to give it a little bit more. Of course, it was a lot of fresh face actors too, because none of us knew who Jonathan Majors was at the time, and I don't think he played his role bad at all. He can seem kind of stiff at times, but
he didn't. But he didn't. But it because when the show starts, it almost seems like he's going to be the main character. But then because it goes off into a very not, I mean, he is, but it's not really centered around him. It starts going into all these other avenues rather than focusing on a straight story with him. There's a lot of anti-black misandry in there, but I won't get into all that. But I'm curious to know what John thinks about the trailer.
Only thing I can really say is I like the mystery behind it because I don't know what's going on, and I like it that way too. I'm not a big fan of the new actors. Even watching this trailer, it's just something about these new actors, man. It's almost like they try too hard. Like I know a lot of people.
Yeah,
I know a lot of the new generation from Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan. They're supposed to be like, I guess the ones that kind of took over the mantle, or the torch was kind of passed for them from the Denzel Washingtons, the Morgan Freemans. James Earl Jones. Yeah, James Earl Jones. And they don't
rest in peace. Peace.
They just don't hold the same. They just don't have the same gravitas as those guys. I really the nuances that the older black generation of actors had. I just thought it was just top notch. Like when I watched them act, it just didn't feel like I was watching the actor. I felt like I was watching the character. A lot of times when I watch these newer guys, it's just like, yeah, that's Michael B. Jordan. You know what I mean? Like that's Michael B. Jordan. Even though I know Denzel gets that a lot too, they always feel like, oh, he can't play anyone else other than the New Yorker. But to say that his movies aren't good and his performances are, you would just be lying. But when I watch Michael B. Jordan and I watch, Chadwick Boseman when he was alive. It's just something about their performances that they don't stand out to me. I don't walk away from their movies like, man, that was like really good. Like I really enjoyed that character. I mean, even Black Panther. I'm sorry, I'm just not a huge fan of the Black Panther movie. I thought it was mediocre at best.
I agree with that.
Everything from the story, from the acting, and I'll be honest with you, I think it's cool. I will go watch it, especially if we're going to go watch it together as a group, just so we can have a podcast and talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to do a review.
I do like the mystery behind it. I've always been a fan of not knowing too much and not seeing too much. I will say that it was beautifully, like the cinematography was very well done because I don't think people realize that that's an art in itself. To make a good trailer is an art form. Like, can't no one just go make a good trailer and it'd be good? You know what I mean? So they did a good job with the trailer, like some of the cuts and all that. It looks interesting. But it's just like there's just like certain parts in there where I'm looking at Michael B. Jordan, I'm like, man, this new generation, man, it's just not. It's not.
Yeah, to kind of add on what you were saying, like this particular scene right here, where this is supposed to be looking like afraid. This one right here.
Yeah. Oh, like, yeah. Like that stuck out to me.
I kind of get that.
Oh, it was
like, yeah, it's like they're trying too hard. Like I know.
It's just and right now, I'll be honest with you. I'm not in a good frame of mind for newer. I'm really not, because I've been watching a lot of old stuff because James Earl Jr.
Jones.
James Earl Jones, because he died. I've been watching a lot, especially like late at night when everyone is like asleep. I've been watching a lot of old stuff. So I've been watching like just some masterful performances. So it's tough for me to watch anything new right now because it's just they just don't hold a candle to the old heads. I mean, they just really don't. But I mean, I go check it out. It looks a little interesting.
It doesn't draw you in.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
I remember growing up. Matter of fact, case in point, I watched the old Color Purple, and I watched the new one, and I'm like, this isn't the biggest pile of trash.
I thought the first one was trash.
Well,
I mean, the first one, it was trash, Brian, but it wasn't trash because they couldn't act or it was poorly written.
I mean, yeah, I get
it wasn't trash because of the art form. It was trash because of what it represented. Yes, especially given that time period. Like, that's a whole different conversation. But as far as the art form and how it was directed and how it was written, stuff like, I was just talking about that with Jalen a couple of days ago, because we were talking about the Coming to America, because I was using a reference from the first one, and we was talking about like the second one versus the old one, and I was just like, it's just night and day, man. I mean, it really is just night and day. And I mean, that's a comedy, but
yeah, it's funny you say that because I was kind of excited about watching the second one, and it got so many bad reviews that I didn't even bother watching it.
Oh, you didn't watch it? Oh, Brian, you're just so lucky.
No.
Like, you are so lucky to just not even to. I mean,
the only thing I liked about that,
in my mind.
There's two things I liked about that movie. There's two. I like the fact that the lady was still barking at 30 years later, and I like Wesley Snipes. Other than that, like the movie is trash.
Listen here, Brian. There's nothing redeemable about that movie, man. The only good thing that came out of that is that they were able to make another one before the original cast members died. That is the only good thing about that. Outside of that, Brian, it is complete garbage. It does not even remotely come close.
I think a lot of
in the same stratosphere as the first one.
Yeah, I think a lot of what we're seeing with that type of thing is you got to have the right creative team, and you got to have the team who understands what the projects are. And I think that's what we're seeing a lot. You're getting a lot of people, a lot of the younger, the newer guard in Hollywood are getting jobs, but they don't understand the projects. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the new Lord of the Rings, trilogy. They spent billions of dollars on this series, but they just have the wrong team. They got people who just don't understand what the Lord of the Rings are, or a lot of Star Wars stuff is like that. You got people like Leslie Headland. They don't even know where this show cost $200-something billion.
You're still coming after her throat.
Yeah, no, but not just me. I mean, everyone has shown that the show cost way more than what originally everyone thought. And they're like, well, where'd the money go? It had to be like a money laundering thing because it didn't go into the show, you know. And that's what people are saying. But what it is, though, it's the wrong team. You can't have a radical feminist lesbian direct a Star Wars movie because it's a franchise that's centered around men. I mean, it's a recipe for failure. It'd be like getting the most hardcore masculine director, the guy that directed Conan the Barbarian. Wasn't he like a general or some shit like that, or he was in the military? Getting him to direct the Barbie movie.
Well, I'll say this: I think Denzel had the best response to it when someone asked him about why they needed a black director to create or to direct a black film. I can't even remember which film it was or what it was about. It might have been fences. I'm not even sure. But when he was like, well, it's not about the race. It's not about the color. It's about the culture. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I definitely hear you. Like if that isn't your bag, that's just not your bag. You know what I'm saying? You can't accurately represent what that IP stands for if your worldview is vastly different than what the culture, or at least what the genesis of what that culture represented. So I mean, I don't know. It's
because
I don't think you can. I don't think you can't have. Right. I don't even think I wouldn't even necessarily go as far as to say you can't have a lead female role in the Star Wars universe. I think it just has to be done right.
Right. That's not what I was saying.
That's the problem. I think that's what I was saying.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can't have a radical lesbian feminist directing the movie. It's not. I don't have a problem with a female lead. I don't even have a problem with a female director. But you got to have a female director who understands what it is that the franchise is. The franchise is a classic hero's journey story that is supposed to inspire boys and men. Unfortunately, I know it sounds sexist, but that's just what it is. That's what made it popular.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not made for girls. It just isn't. It's not to say that girls can't
enjoy it,
can't appreciate it, or enjoy it because many do. But that's not who it's made for. It's largely a male franchise, and I think men got to start being okay with saying that. Like everyone tries to make you a sexist because you say, okay, no, this is for men. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with making action movies for men. There's nothing wrong with making music for men. There's nothing wrong with making products for men. Well, why have we gotten to this point in this world where it's something wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with it. Just like there's nothing wrong with making stuff for women, or for gay people, or for Asian people, or for Black people. And there is such a thing as general movies. That's for everyone. Disney used to be that.
Right. Yeah. I was about to say that.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone
be their thing. Right.
Yeah. You know. And because that's its own thing. It's hard to do that. It's harder to appeal to a vast amount of people. That's why using people niche. But it can be done. But that's what I like about this new Sinners movie. I think that he's taken what Jordan Peele did with what I call Black Americana and adding a horror twist to it. He was kind of like the first one, I think, to kind of do that, and it got really popular. You know what I'm saying? With what was it? Was it Get Out? Yeah, Get Out. And that's kind of how I see with his Sinners movie is he's doing something similar. I just hope sometimes when you see, because a lot of people are doing it now, sometimes they go too hard on the Black stuff rather than making it about the story. It's like, okay, we get it, we understand it's a struggle. Like last Candyman movie, it's like, hey, we get it, it's about the struggle. We get that. You got to make an entertaining movie, all right? You got to make it entertaining. Yeah, you got to make it entertaining. You got to make the characters interesting. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have good writing and good acting. Just because you make it Black and about Black issues doesn't make it good. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. It doesn't.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm completely against. Any type of remake. I'm not wasting my time no more. I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
I'm tired of remakes. I'm tired of it. I don't care. I don't even care if it's good. I don't want to see it. There's just so many creative people in this world. There's so many different ideas. Make something new, okay? And then people are always saying, "Oh, well, these big companies, you know, they're already going to want to go with the established IPs because of the returns or whatever." Well, who cares? That's to me, that's not an excuse anymore. Okay, stop throwing money away on useless crap. Then you won't have to worry about it. There's nothing wrong with, or I should say, the audience doesn't mind seeing something new or something that they haven't seen before. Just do it well, and you don't have to worry about it. But this whole, we're going to spend money on established IPs so we can make our investment back. No, you don't have to spend $300 million to make a good movie. Okay, that's the problem. They want to put all this money into all these movies, and then they get mad or because they don't make it back. Well, they're not good movies. You're not making good content, and so the people don't want to pay.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
we're talking about the last Godzilla movie. The last Godzilla movie came out was a fraction of the cost of the Star Wars series that just came out, and it looked amazing. It looked great, and it did really well in the theaters. So that goes to show you don't have to have some ginormous budget.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
some
it's
$300 million.
It's also
budget.
knowing your, like, I got to agree with you, G Flux. It's also knowing your audience. What's it?
Yeah.
And what is a Godzilla? A big monster fighting another monster, destroying a city. It's entertaining. That's all it is. It's sheer entertainment. But they want to sit there and add all these nuances for every Tom, Dick, Harry, what used to be a Susan or a Jane, and why? Why, when your core audience just wants to see cut and dry entertainment?
Yeah, I mean, I think from what I heard from the new Godzilla, I haven't seen it, was that they did have a lot of nuances in it, but it was from a Japanese perspective. It was from the original source of the franchise.
Yeah.
They had two Godzilla movies. They had the one that Legendary made, and then they had Godzilla minus zero.
Minus one.
Yeah.
Minus
well,
one.
Shin Godzilla came out probably about like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And
minus
one came out fairly recently,
like last year. But
it
was really good. I mean, it was really good. It wasn't like the main character, like they kept on teasing him for being a coward, and you just be realistic. Like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And then like he had another guy who was like sitting there like talking trash to him, like, hey, you let the whole country down by not dying for this monster. Like, who would die for a monster? I want to live. And then but back to like Jordan Peele, I can't say I like most of his movies, but he always had some element that I do.
He's only done how many has he done? 2?
Get Out.
No, 3. He's done 3.
Get Out.
Us and the one about the UFO.
The aliens.
Yeah. I liked all 3. I think Get Out was probably the best, but so far I liked all 3 of his films. Yeah. But anybody got anything else to say about Sinners?
Well, I'll say about as well, because I don't know what the budget is on Sinners. But I recently just watched. Real quick. I recently just watched to drive home the point of, you really just don't need that much money to make a good movie, as long as you have a good script, some good writing, and I mean, you don't even really need like the top echelon, actors. You just need someone, you can just have some decent actors and make a good movie. We recently just watched a horror movie.
They're saying about $90 million.
90 million. Well, I don't know how much. That's pretty. I mean, that's pretty low. I guess this technically is a big budget release because it's Ryan Cooglers behind it. But we just recently watched
that's not bad.
That's pretty low for a big budget movie. Because I would consider this a big budget movie because it's got Michael B. Jordan in it.
Well, but back to what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Like all these actors just seem they don't have the same. I don't want to say charisma, but the same gravitas that the previous. I can't even say previous generation. I want to say previous to that generation. Because I want to say the closest one in that last generation to age would be Denzel. But when it was like Denzel is a draw, James Earl Jones was a presence, and when you think about those older actors, they were a presence. And I would say the closest one since Chadwick Boseman died, and no offense, they did have Chadwick Boseman playing every black major figure through history for a long run. Is Michael B. Jordan. He is a box office draw. He's a fairly good looking guy.
I'm more convinced by Michael B. Jordan's performances than I am Chadwick's. There's a lot of these other new guys. But I agree. Well, I think he's closer, but he's still nowhere near those older guys.
I can't think of any other like black lead right now that from this generation. Like when we were growing up, we had Tay Diggs, we had Morris Chestnut, and everybody else was just role players. Wesley Snipes.
What's his name? Looks like his son is playing. Isn't that one guy? You remember the fat guy in the center's one that was sitting in the doorway of the barn? Doesn't that look like doesn't that look like Forrest Whitaker's son?
Forrest Whitaker. And even with
Forrest Whitaker is good, man.
I mean, here's the thing. We start talking about people like Denzel and Samuel Jackson, Morgan Freeman, Whitaker, Lawrence Fishburne. These guys are old.
Yeah,
these are our generation of black actors. I mean, we're talking about black actors today. You know, really, all you have is Michael B. Jordan. I guess they were trying to push Jonathan Majors, but I mean, let's be real, man. These guys they're just not that good. I mean, they speak to the youth, and I understand that. And I know I was arguing with Jay, our cousin Jay, because he was just like, well, John, these actors, they speak more to the youth. And I'm like, okay, well, then the youth don't know what the youth doesn't know what they're looking at. Then they don't understand the art, because I mean, they just don't. They don't understand the art, because if they one of Jonathan Major's biggest films was that Western that The Harder They Fall. And it's funny because initially when Jalen watched that,
I tried.
He was just like,
I really did.
He's like, John, it's not that bad. You know, and he is of that generation. He's of that crowd. That is his generation. He watches that, and he can't see.
John, you were Borging a little bit.
Oh, he can't see, or he doesn't understand like how bad that really was. You know what I mean? Like, he really doesn't understand. Like, this is bad. Like, this is a bad Western. Like, this is nowhere near the level of production as like a true good Western. You know, and what makes it worse is that because it is an all black cast and it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible. Like, I'm happy.
Well, I think
it's an all black cast, but it's bad. It is a bad movie. It was poorly written. You know what I mean? And everyone's performance in there was terrible.
But I think that's what happens with the youth is that they'll see a movie and then they'll have an all black cast or someone they really like and popular, and they'll be like, oh, and therefore it is good. And I'm like, no. Yeah, or it'd be like it won't be like so terrible that it's like you know, just but it'd be like, you know, it's kind of average or mediocre. And it's like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. It was like, just because it has a black cast, or just because it has an actor or music or, you know, rapper in it that you like, doesn't automatically make it good. You know, Denzel Washington has some stinkers out there as far as movies.
Of course.
And I'll be the first person to say it.
But
and I'll be the first person to say it. You know.
Well, there's a movie that I like and you hate, Fallen. I love that movie.
I cannot stand that movie. I just don't get
the
appeal of it. It's so gimmicky.
Love that movie.
You know how like when someone makes a movie and the ground rules are so ridiculous that you just can't suspend your disbelief, because it's just like, well, it's impossible. This thing is impossible to defeat or overcome, or even if that was the nature of this thing, the way the movie was directed, it just makes it so like I don't know, maybe it's just me. I just hate the idea of a disembodied spirit that can just possess anybody without any rules. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to it that can make it that grounds it. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. And there's a lot of movies like that. And again, just because you have Denzel Washington, doesn't make up for that fact. And there's a lot of movies in the 80s came out like that. Oh, this just disembodied thing can just possess people. No one knows why this serial killer is killing people, because it's going from person to person to person. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just too gimmicky to me. At least make it so that there has to be a valid reason why this thing could possess someone. It can't just possess anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, when the premise is bad, it's hard to overlook it while you're if you're yeah, as the audience, it's hard to overlook when the premise is bad, because the premise doesn't have to be fully explained for it to be interesting or good. But when it just doesn't make any sense, it kind of just it kills all of the imagination, and it's just like, okay,
I think
now
and that's what it is
I'm
for me.
clearly watching.
Movie,
I'm clearly watching a movie. I don't have the same disdain as you do for the movie, but it's definitely one of his worst movies I've seen. I will say that, but it's not even
but it's not because of him. It's just like you said, it's the premise.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not even that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, the movie sucks, the premise is bad, or whatever, but he still did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That question, like, Brian, I don't think you understand. Like, oh, well, you say you try to watch it. Like, it's monumentally bad. Like, it's not.
When you see really good West.
The crazy thing is, I think that same year, earlier that, the remake of Magnificent Seven, I really enjoyed that. Because I really enjoyed that.
That's okay.
But I mean, I hate black cinema these days. I hate every bit of it. There's nothing I like. There has not been 96.
I was hoping.
Well, I'll say this because I do think some of what Jay was telling me is true, because they do speak to the younger generation. I get that. I understand that, to some degree. There's some things that they say, or they might say, that it doesn't speak to me because I'm from a different generation. I understand that. And that's not really what I'm arguing or whatever, because I can still appreciate something that's not necessarily for me. You know what I mean? Like, but if it's just bad, it's just bad. Like, if you can't act, you just can't act. Or if you're overacting, you're just overacting. Like, I'm not attacking how they're trying to connect with us. I'm attacking the actual art of it, if that makes sense. Like,
I don't know what
if it's poorly directed, then it's just poorly directed. I don't know what, or if the cinematography is not at a certain level, then it's just not at a certain level. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
It's just not a good movie.
Could we just be products? Could we just be old men and just products of our time too? Because
well, that's what I'm saying. I understand that. Like, I get some of that is that, and I'll take that. But if you show me something good that's new, and it checks the boxes, even though it doesn't speak to my generation or what I came up with, then okay. If it's good, it's just good. But when you're clearly delivering your lines and it's not delivered well, then that's just bad. Like,
the reason why I bring it up though is because you can go watch a movie from like the 20s or the 30s, right? And it's just so old, maybe part of its quality too. They didn't have as good as audio and stuff like that back then.
Right.
But it's just so old. The cultural cues are so old that they just don't speak to me. And maybe it's the same thing with new black cinema. The cultural cues, the swag, the way they talk, what they consider good acting today. Like, for instance, right? And this is going to be a good segue. Someone's commenting in the back here. This is a good segue. Who is this? It says Angel Hole, or is that Hole or Hall? Pam Grier on Bernadette stains the daughter on Good Times, who was more beautiful. Definitely, easily Bernadette, and she'll still be beautiful and fine. Good Times. It's been so long since I've seen Good Times. Go ahead.
Whoever that is, you shut your blasphemous mouth. Pam Grier Times. I was just looking at a picture of her.
Says Pam Grier on Bernadette stains the daughter on Good Times, who was more beautiful. Definitely easily Bernadette, and she'll still be beautiful and fine. Okay. I'm not. It's been so long since I've seen Good Times. But let me just finish my point here, Mr. Matundo. I guess what I'm saying is that I'm not going to go out of my way to watch a movie from the 20s. You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to feel the same way about newer films. It's the cultural zeitgeist just doesn't. I can't relate to it. I can't relate to a lot of it, and that's why I like this Sinners movie. Is because it's a period piece. So now these actors have to kind of like get outside of their comfort zone and let's see what they can really bring. You know what I'm saying? But to segue, a good example would be as far as newer generations having different takes on what is considered good acting and bad acting. I think it was myself, Uncle Dave, and Carbon. I think you were there too, John, because we were at your house and we were talking about From and the main character in that series. And you and I, John, were just like, his acting is awful. The acting is just terrible. It's just terrible. The guy's he's just not convincing at all. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys. He's a likable actor. He's kind of like Keanu Reeves and Will Smith was a likable actor until he slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. But he's kind of like those actors where he's likable. I like seeing him, but the guy can't deliver a line worth a goddamn. Like he's just that bad.
You know what? I was sitting there.
Carbon was just swearing up and down that this guy is a good actor. I was like, he's just not. Or
no, he's not.
He really is. And I like him, but go ahead.
But Harold Parnell, that's the biggest thing. Like when he was in the Matrix, he had one good line in that one. It's very vulgar, so I won't say it on on the screen. And I was like, okay. And I know him as being a simp in the Best Man movies. Other than that,
I mean, let's be
yeah,
real.
This
though.
guy,
I mean,
this is Shamik Moore right here. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was basically saying like, I know y'all were talking about with the newer actors that's coming out. I was trying to get your opinion, how y'all feel about him with his acting since he's done animation with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Oh no, I was just saying he did animation with Spider-Man, some voice acting, and also he played in Cutthroat City. Yeah, I mean, and also too in like Wu-Tang American Saga, he played as Raekwon.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like him.
I've never seen him. I've never actually seen him in anything.
You know what? John Boyega, I like him. I mean, I think he turned into a simp in the Star Wars movies, but I like him. He was I liked him in Clone Tyrone. That movie was a 5, and that's much higher than I give most black cinema these days. And he actually made that movie passable. But as for my point is this: Harold Parnell, he's likable. He's not an office draw, but he's like a black Mr. Rogers. You don't expect much from him, but he's gonna be nice doing the role. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if it was strictly up to him carrying that show, I would have stopped watching a long time ago.
Which show is this?
From.
From. Yeah.
Yeah.
My audio cut out. I couldn't hear you guys.
Oh yeah, he's terrible. But I say this: the premise of the show is just so good, and he has some really good supporting actors around him that I can overlook. I can overlook his performance in this show.
Hold on, the best actor in that whole show is the retarded dude. Let's just call it what it is.
I actually like
gosh.
the old white lady. What's her name? I can't remember her now.
That has at the other house who always carrying around a shotgun.
Oh, the butcher. Yeah,
like she's. I actually think she's the best.
Yeah, she's the most convincing
in the show.
Yeah.
The old white lady with a shotgun.
I agree with that. She's the most convincing for sure.
Well, no, it was her delivery on some, especially in season 2, like when some stuff was really happening. And her, like, you can just tell, like, she, what's her name, Elizabeth Saunders. You can tell, like, she's just a good actress. Like, she can deliver her lines and she's believable. But Harold was it Parano? Like he's just not good. Which brings me, it is a good segue since we were going to talk about episode 1. At the very end of the episode,
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, you haven't watched it?
Man, that's not you, man. That's your fault, bro.
How you gonna be on the live podcast where we're gonna do a review of episode 1?
Hold on. You know what? I have something to do, so I don't exclude myself from this part of the podcast. Out here hurt people's feelings. I was gonna buy you breakfast after I cut in line tomorrow, but now you lost that.
I mean, that's literally half of this show is going to be talking about From.
Well,
I mean, you didn't think to watch it?
I just found out. Brian called me this morning. Hey man, we got a podcast or something. I'm there. Oh, and the 3rd season of From started.
You had all day to watch that episode.
I was raking grass. We just had a storm here. It was real out there, son. I was dodging branches.
Yeah, I won't give away too many details, but I'll say this about From. I think that I like the mystery of it. I like the creatures and the atmosphere and everything they're doing with it. The basic premise I really love, but I don't want it to become like Lost, where it's mystery box for the sake of mystery box.
Yeah, it goes on and on.
They're gonna have to start explaining some shit.
I would like to see.
And whatever they explain is gonna have to be interesting. Yeah.
I need 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I need you to wrap this up in another season because that's when stories start going down. When they just on and on and on. I don't need 8 seasons of this. You know what I mean? Like it's you got my attention. Now I'm gonna get some answers, and then I want to move on with my life. I hate it when seasons just go on and on and on. It's like, why, man? That's the reason why I started watching The Walking Dead. After the 3rd season, I was done. I don't care about this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Just give me. Just give me some answers. Give me a little bit of a story, a little bit of plot, a little bit of deaths or whatever, so I can feel bad about it, and then let me go on about my way. But the whole you just bringing. So I will say this: I was reading the review. I didn't want to read the review, but I read it anyway because I just couldn't help myself. But it was from a reviewer who already watched the entire season, and one of the things that stuck out to me was he was just like. They answer a lot of questions, but they also raise a lot of questions. I was like, man, come on, man. Like,
well, what
don't
you talking about From?
Yes, From.
You talking about?
And I'm like, man, yes, I'm talking about From.
Well,
and I'm like,
I don't mind if you're answering a lot of questions, but you're also raising a lot of questions because that means you're moving the plot along, but keeping it interesting at the same time. Because look, if this show goes on for 6 seasons, because I think you could do more than 4. I think with this type of show you could get a good 6 and all 6 be good as hell. But you are going to have an end point.
You're pushing it, man. You're pushing it because realistically, man, like, okay, you're going to have it go on that long, man. Everyone can't survive. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone can't survive. Well, once you start losing the main characters that brought you in, then. And then if you don't kill them off, then it just becomes cheap. So it's just like, what am I watching? Like,
well,
to me, it's just like once you get past that,
I have to disagree with that. I disagree with that. And the reason why I disagree with that is because it's how you write the story, right? So if they keep these people in this same town doing the same thing, and people keep coming into town, but if they don't progress it and move it along, like, okay, wait, hey, we all got to leave the town now. And you got to go off on this adventure. You don't know what you're going into because everything about the town has been explained. You know what I'm saying? Then I would agree. But if they move it along, because you think about it, like, all right, well, the food is the ground is poison, it's getting cold, right? And the lead, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, are they going to be able to stay there? Are they going to be able to stay in that town, or are they going to have to keep moving? You know.
I got a thorough grasp of the last season. I watched that completely. But fellas, if you're going to want to talk about this new episode,
that happened in the last season.
I know
about the last season.
I know. Yeah, I haven't watched episode 3 yet.
No, that happened.
We're talking all the way up to season 2. We're not even talking about.
Well, I think what you just said. I think they said they segued into that with Tabitha being able to come back to the real world.
Yeah.
So
yes, what we're saying is, well, that's more of what Brian's saying. What I'm saying is that where else they're gonna go from here? If you're talking about changing locations, okay, maybe, but I mean, well, I don't know. I can't really say that because I haven't watched all the episodes yet. All I'm saying is, like, you can only stay in this town for so long before it starts to become less interesting.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. But John, put it this way, and I had this idea when I was watching the last episode, right? I was like, the way they could make this, now it'd be a more expensive show, but the way they could make this interesting is, let's say for whatever reason these people, they get caught in this nexus or whatever, and they're in this weird place, and the monsters were created to keep the people in there, because if they get out, then somehow they infect all of humanity, and what happens there happens to all of humanity, and then they get out and it happens to all of humanity. And so now it's about survive. The world is trying to survive. You see what I'm saying? So there's things they could do, but they can't be afraid to do that. But I also remember that's a very grandiose idea. It'd be kind of expensive to do. So they're all right. You have to remember they're limited by budget and stuff like that. So you got to do it a certain.
Like you said earlier, man. Like, I like what they're doing with their budget. It's not so fantastical that you have to suspend your you have to, it leads you where it wants you to go. It's not sitting there.
And the monsters look really creepy too. The monsters look creepy and they do a good job. They look different from a lot of other stuff that's out there. So I have to give them credit, for what they do with the budget.
Yeah, they're definitely spending their money in the right
places. Johnny, I totally agree. They're spending money where it needs to go. A lot of these shows, like that Lord of the Rings, I've only watched one episode in that whole series. I'm like, man, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's so bad.
I actually haven't tried that yet. I was thinking about giving it a shot because I tried. I kind of want to be like, I've been in that mood where I want to watch something fantasy, but I necessarily don't want to watch something old. And I've always loved the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so I was thinking about giving that a shot.
It was so bad, John. It was so bad that not only did I not finish it, but I turned on the original, the Fellowship of the Rings, the first movie, and because I hadn't seen it in years, and I was like, and I was just blown away as to how good it was. So well directed, you know what I'm saying? Music is just on point, well acted, and to see the travesty that is the Rings of Power grace the screens, and it's just like, again, it's about having the right team in place. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get the right team, and again, I think they failed to understand what the audience is. I'm gonna let you guys take over. I gotta answer this phone call real quick.
Well, I know you definitely need to watch the first episode of season 3.
Oh, okay. What time?
It's one of those episodes where, because it's been gone for a year, right? So, because I always feel like your premiere of your season is very important for, I think, the success of the season. Right.
I don't know why you keep partnering.
Right. We literally can hear your whole conversation. Walk away from the computer.
Oh man.
Or mute your mic.
Oh my.
But one thing I will say about the premiere was it did a good job of reintroducing you to. Is there a way? Well, he's the leader, so we can't mute him.
Well, I guess I could text him real quick. Let me try to text him.
Right. Mute your mic or something.
I'll definitely get into that, fellas. I have to do something for a loved one.
All right, thanks for coming up, Mr. Montendo.
Watch the show tonight. Remember, you're gonna watch Black Cinema. Watch it from Everything up to the year 2000. After that, it all goes downhill.
All right, since you're leaving, that's going to be a good segue to do a commercial break. Whatever audience is watching is probably only like one person watching, but whoever's watching,
gotta start somewhere. Gotta start somewhere.
We just released an album called Infinite Tribe. It has an Egyptian theme, but we're going to play the commercial for the album here and just find out our channel here, Lucent Oak Studios. Okay. All right, come on. Come on. Everything gets slower when I do this streaming thing. I need to do it on my larger computer. Come on, thing. Oh, here we go. Here's the ad right here. All right, so here's the Infinite Tribe album 1. I mean, not album. Infinite Tribe commercial 1. Stupid commercial.
Commercial in a commercial.
Right.
Go away, commercial. There we go. Right here. Okay, volumes up.
Infinite Tribe album, DJ Dave Darko, and Arson Ill Beats, only on YouTube. And buy your Infinite Tribe merch on Redbubble. Search Infinite Tribe on YouTube and Redbubble, and behold the Infinity Ankh. Infinite vibes on Infinite Tribe.
Yeah.
All right, commercial done. Commercial time over. But yeah, check out the album Infinite Tribe on Lucent Oak Studios. Check out the merch. Look up Infinite Tribe on Redbubble.
Yes.
On Redbubble. So yeah. All right. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about while we're here? Any video games? Any new movies? Any new shows? Anime?
Well, I heard. Oh gosh.
Nothing.
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Not much.
Hey, Brian, can you hear me? Or am I Borging?
I can hear you, King Supreme. I don't think.
Brian okay. All day Brian can hear us. I don't know.
Oh, he's Borging. He's Borging out.
Oh yeah. We got a lot going on.
I'm Borging. Yeah.
He's definitely Borging.
You guys, I was like, why'd you guys freeze? But I guess it's me that's.
Nah, it's you.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that.
Back?
Yeah, can you hear me? Nope, I don't think you're back.
Yep, he's Borging. He's Borging out.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. No, I was just saying that.
Still Borging?
No, I hear you. That's if it's going in real time. And
Nope.
Yeah.
Borging. He's not back.
Yeah, he's not back. Come on, Brian. Close some windows.
I know, right? he needs to elevate his.
Now?
Oh, there you go.
All right. Well, it all depends on your response.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just Brian. I'll be talking to you in real time.
Yeah, I'm back. I had to stop the video from loading that way. I guess it's just hogging up too many resources.
Yeah, you might. Are you doing this off of your main computer?
No, I'm on my laptop.
What? You have a ridiculously powerful computer that you could be doing all this on. That can handle all of this.
I wanted to
This all good.
I wanted to do some drawing at the same time. I don't have all my drawing stuff hooked up to the big computer.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was just saying that I know Hideo Kojima something about he signed with Hollywood agencies and reveals third phase of his indie studio, and look like he's getting into movies and anime. So it just came from the phone. Yeah. Oh yeah. Talking about weird stuff. Hold on.
Someone with some actual story.
Right. I was about to say he's a great storyteller, so that'd be interesting to see, especially in the as far as anime. Like I would really want to see what he would have, because that'd be in the Metal Gear Solid storyline is just so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool to get like an animated version with that type of storytelling in it.
Definitely. You know, I'm always game for it, man. Whether people could be hooked. I play a walking simulator game any day. Hey, it got me ready for Amazon. So hey, good.
I know, right? Well, one of the things I was going to say earlier when we were talking about as far as budget and how little I think that actually plays into it. We recently watched a horror movie. It's Argentinian. Oh no, or is it from Argentina? Or was it? Yeah, it was from Argentina. Called When Evil Lurks, and I think they may have spent a little over $500,000 on that film, and it was very well done. I really enjoyed it. Like the cinematography was good. The acting was good. It was creepy. Like they didn't spend that much money on it. Like you don't even need $90 million to make a good film. You need some good writers, a good director, some decent actors, and a vision. They throw money at these films like that's like the end all be all. And you have something like I will watch When Evil Lurks. Infinitely more times than I will watch something newer with all the money and all the so-called great actors in it and have a much more enjoyable time. Yeah, they probably didn't make that much money, but I'm sure they made their money. They probably made like $2 million or something like that, or $3 million.
Check that out.
Yeah, that dog scene.
Oh my god, it was fantastic. Like,
yeah, it was good.
It was good. But I don't know. How
much did that movie? You know that movie by John Carpenter called They Live?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a low budget movie. It always seemed kind of like a low budget movie to me. But I remember thinking, like this movie doesn't have like some grandiose special effects, but it was just so well directed. And he got the perfect actors to play the roles. Like he had an eye for what he wanted. And it just, to me, it's just one of those movies where it's like that's the type of movie when I think of where you don't got to spend like just an ass of money to make a good movie.
Yeah, $3 million is what the budget was for that movie.
There you go. Yeah. Now, granted, that was the 80s, so with inflation, it was probably
$3 million was probably a lot back then.
Well, no, that wasn't a lot because you got to think Conan cost $20 million back then.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
No, not really. Yeah.
I mean, and they made They made $13 million, so they made their money back and then some.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's like. I was just going over some of the screenshots again for the center, and I'll say this: I don't have high hopes for it. I really don't. I will say that, but sometimes that's a good thing because I'm not going to be really expecting much. So if it's like good, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, that was actually worth my time.
Yeah.
So the accent, I think that's what was getting me too. Like. I don't know, man.
See, I didn't mind the accent as much as I didn't.
It feels forced to me. Like I just don't. I don't know.
See, I didn't mind the accents as much as I didn't like some of the emoting.
Right.
Yeah, some of the emoting to me was just like, all right. It was like, okay, you guys trying a little too hard there. Yeah, that's just me.
But that was really the only a lot of stuff that I've been watching because we've been taking a lot of chances on like a lot of indie films, and we've mostly struck out. But When Evil Lurks was one of the good ones that we watched. I was just like, okay, this was good. Yeah, because we finally watched Long Legs because everyone hyped it up, but. I really wasn't all that impressed.
Yeah, I heard a lot of bad things about that. I didn't bother watching it. I'll probably check it out, but
now I will say this: the cinematography in it, top notch,
top notch,
beautifully shot. Like I give them that. Like it's a pretty film, There's
I heard it was dark. I heard it was really dark.
Oh yeah, it's dark.
No, I mean like dark, like you can't see shit in the movie.
Yeah, I'm not talking about dark as far as it being like the content. I'm talking about dark, like you can't see it. I had to turn up the brightness on my TV just so
how's the cinematography good if you can't see shit?
Well, because when you do adjust, because I don't know if it was just my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, because I didn't watch it in the movie theaters. I watched it at home, so I don't know.
Yeah, people were saying they were coming from the theater and saying it was dark.
Oh, so it was like that. Okay, well, that might be something different. But once I adjusted the brightness and contrast on the TV, I thought it looked good as far as like how the shots were set up and stuff like that. But I just from the reaction that I got from people, I was really going in with like, man, this is going to be something really, really good. And I came away with it like, this is like a 6 out of 10 if you ask me. you know,
that's what I've been hearing too.
This is just a little bit better than average. So, but that's the reason why sometimes I don't even like listening to the hype. I just like to just watch it and make my own opinion of it. But I'm not sure if my opinion would have changed though, even if I wasn't hyped up to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching the trailer and thinking, "Oh, this is gonna be dope," but I heard so many bad things about it. I didn't even bother watching it. I'm gonna eventually check it out because it's gonna be one of the movies that I review for Halloween. But I just didn't. I didn't bother with it. You know what? One of the worst horror movies I've seen in a long time. It was so bad. What was it called? TV Glow something. Let me look at it. It's like
TV Glow. TV. What? Oh, I was hoping that was going to be good.
Oh God, John, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Are you serious, Brian? I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
This movie right here. One? It was so bad. Oh God, John.
Come on.
Oh, John. The movie is the perfect example of, what's the saying they say in cinema? Show, don't tell. All this movie did was tell. All it's just exposition. All it was exposition. It had a couple like scenes in it that you could tell, okay, this because it's very artsy fartsy, but it has a couple of scenes in it that okay, this is kind of creepy, cool looking. And the main character's voice, like this mixed race guy, this black guy here, his voice is so freaking annoying. This is how he's talking throughout the whole movie. Well, and she was beautiful, and it was like listening to like someone take their nails and like scrape across the chalkboard. The entire movie, I hate this movie so much. It's so bad. It's one of the ones I was going to review for Halloween just to bash it, just to say this movie freaking sucks.
Oh, I have to watch it now.
It's so bad, John. You're gonna turn it off. You're gonna turn it off. I turned it off. I was like, I can't watch this. It's unwatchable. It's an unwatchable movie.
Man, come on, man. I was really hoping that
because some of the like scenery, some of the imagery,
oh my gosh,
kind of cool.
Yeah, when I watched the trailer of it, I was just like, okay.
It's so
I'm liking where this is
so
going.
Horrible, dude. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I swear, it's that bad. That bad. It's like the person who directed this just has no clue on like how to create a narrative. Now, to be fair, if it's like an art house, artsy fartsy thing, whatever. But
well, I mean, that's
being released to the general public. It's like you gotta at least make it entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I was going into it realizing that it was going to be artsy fartsy film, but I mean, it just looked like some of the imagery looked really cool. Like so.
Do not be.
I think I'm gonna still check it out because
yeah, you're not gonna have fun at all. It's that bad.
Hey, what do you think about the controversy of them bashing Denzel Washington about having his New York accent in Gladiators 2? There's been a considerable amount of backlash from it.
If you're going to bash that, then you got to bash all the people who have English accents. In the Gladiator movies.
What I don't understand is
Russell Crowe has like a Scottish English accent in the movie. They didn't have English accents like that back then. They didn't even speak that kind of English back then. So it's so stupid.
What I was trying to get was like, well, hold up. how do we know what they spoke like?
We know they didn't have New York accents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but the point though is
the point is, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Like it's a show about the Romans and the gladiators. Like
that's one thing I liked about the Spartacus show was the way they wrote it made it sound like it could have been back then, even though it was English.
Right.
The way they wrote the lines, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's top notch, though. I mean,
yeah, it made it sound. It made it sound, for lack of a better term, old timey. Even though we know that's not how the Romans talk. Like, the way they wrote it made it sound old timey. So I think that's the problem. It's not so much as accent, because again, they didn't have English accents back then either. There was the English language. Yeah, the English language, as we know it, didn't exist like how it exists today.
Yeah, right.
You know, Old English sounds nothing like how modern English sounds like. You know, it sounds closer to German. You know, so if you're going to use that argument, bad argument. You know, now that being said, a lot of people associate English accents with more of like a proper type of thing. So I think English, not American English, but from England type of accents get a little. People can suspend their disbelief a little more if they use proper English accent, even though they didn't have that accent either. But so I can kind of see where people are coming from. But again, to me, that's the writing. That's the writing. You know, you have to be able to write the script in a way that no matter who's playing the role, unless they just have such a strong accent, like they have, have to have like this really country, accent or something like that, or some New York Italian accent, to where someone can put on a general accent, right? What we consider general English, and play the part and be able to suspend their disbelief. So I don't really think that's Denzel. I think that's Ridley Scott. Like, write the damn script better. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, let's be fair. It's not even out yet. So I say this, like, I won't care about the New York accent as long as what he's saying, how he's saying it, and the environment or the scene that he's saying it in fits. That's the only thing I care about. Like, if it's written well, then it won't matter the sound. Because if it's a powerful line and he delivers it with what that that scene needs, then it won't matter. it won't matter, what his accent is. Now, granted, I wasn't a huge fan of the Gladiator 1, so but
yeah, when I saw the trailer for this new one, I just don't really care. Yeah, don't really care about.
I mean, what's his name? Denzel's in it, so that I'm gonna watch it just because he's in it. But they also have the African guy. What's his name?
Cheaty. I know you're talking about.
What is his name?
Cheaty with L4. I don't know what his name.
No,
the first one was Digimon. Oh, okay, Digimon.
Oh, Digimon. Yeah, Digimon. House Tour or something like that. I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about? The bald-headed guy, bald-headed African guy. Everyone knows.
Yeah, because he was in the first one. Remember, he was in the first one.
Right. But he's in it, so I was like, oh yeah, just for them two alone. I was like, yeah, I'll watch it.
I mean, I'm gonna check it out, but I'm not.
I just thought that was a funny. I just thought that was a funny story that came out about how people were criticizing him about not using a British accent versus his New York accent.
But again, it wouldn't have a British accent. It's just a bad argument. But I think people give a little bit more leeway to the British accent, because certain British accents, they sound proper. It just sounds old timey. So I think that's why people kind of like, I think Denzel could pull something like that off. Not so much the accent, but the way of speaking. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's more about the writing, in my opinion.
Right.
Because if you go watch Spartacus, and you listen to how they're talking, even though they're speaking English, the words they're using and the way they're using them makes it sound more proper. So it gives it an old timey feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Gladiator is missing. You know, similar. Same thing with Troy. When you watch Troy, the first Troy movie, they do something similar.
How about with Thor? Like when
Thor
thing, proper type of talk. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like the tone.
To my opinion, they've never got the tone right for Thor. They've never got it right. The closest is maybe Ragnarok, but they never got the tone right. For Thor, just in general, not just the way he speaks, but the tone of the films in general. You know what I'm saying? I know Marvel was trying to go more on the comedy action side.
Yeah.
But I think they could have made it a little bit more serious, especially that last film.
They could have made it a lot more serious. And it was funny because that was one of the things that me and Jay was talking about too, because he was just like, John, you bash those movies so much because you're such a fan of the comics. I was like, man, I didn't read that many Thor comics. I just know how he is. He's not a jokey character. That's not his. Yeah. It's just not his character. You know what I mean? Like that's not who he is. That's not what he does. So that's the only reason why I love the first Thor. I thought it was okay. It was a good introduction to his character.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was like, bro, let's be real. The second movie is just trash. Like it's universal. Like people universally are like the second movie is hot garbage, and the third was good, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good in a way where it's like it's a great representation of the character. It was just good.
Was definitely better.
It was just a good film. You know, it was just a good film. What was happening was good. The things that were happening were good. I was like, but that's still not a great representation of Thor and his character.
I think the problem with the Thor movies and the Asgardian characters is that they actually went the god route. But if they would have went these aren't gods, these are just really, really, really advanced humanoid beings who came to Earth and they saw them as gods. I think they could have went with darker stories, with a little bit of levity, but with darker stories. You know what I'm saying? That could have worked a little better. I don't think they really understood what to do with Thor. And that's why he's just a big mess. It was hard to place him. You know what I'm saying? But I think if they would have went more of this is really powerful alien race route, you know what I'm saying? Then I think they could have done some other things, or even extra dimensional. And I guess they technically are extra dimensional, but they're not like gods. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or whatever. Because in the comics, the way they explain Thor's and the Asgardians' language, because they speak like Shakespearean with vowel and stuff like that, which is not how Norwegians and Scandinavian people speak. But the in-universe reason as to why they speak like that is because when the Asgardians learned about Shakespeare and they read it, they became Shakespeare lovers. So it affected their culture, and they liked it so much that now everyone speaks that way. So that's kind of like the.
Which I always thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, it makes kind of sense.
Because cultures change.
Cultures change. Exactly.
Yeah. But they never really quite got Thor right, in my opinion, in Marvel. And again, a lot of that's the team. I like TD Wakiti or whatever his name is, because I thought Ragnarok was good, but you could tell the studio was kind of like hampering him down. Like, okay, yeah, we know you think that's funny, but this you're going a little bit too far. And then when they took the chains off of him, he was able to do kind of what he wanted because Ragnarok did so well. We got Thor: Love and Thunder, which was just complete travesty. Yeah,
it was, man. I was just like, my God, man.
Yeah.
That was the last Marvel film I watched. I I have not been able to watch anything Marvel related since then.
Yeah, me neither.
Mhm.
Me neither. In fact, I was arguing with a guy. His name is Officer Charles, and he's really big Superman fan. He really likes Man of Steel, and he was trying to say like how Man of Steel is like one of the best superhero movies, in a long time and stuff like that.
Man of Steel?
Yeah, it's better than all the Marvel movies. And he was like, name one Marvel movie that's better. And I was like, well, pretty much every Avenger movie. I was like, Captain America: Winter Soldier, Captain America: Civil War. And I told him,
I would rather watch Iron Man than.
I was like, maybe, probably Iron Man 1, Iron Man 3, I would put above Man of Steel. Like if I had if someone forced me to sit down and I only had 2 movies to watch, I'd watch the Iron Man movie. And I was like Thor Ragnarok. I think Thor Ragnarok was a better movie overall. It's just much more fun, much more entertaining, much more interesting. I was like, the problem with Man of Steel is it fundamentally isn't a Superman movie. Even though it has something that looks like Superman, even though it has the symbol of Superman, it's not Superman. It's not Superman.
Not even close, man.
That is not Superman. Yeah.
People don't realize how un-Superman that movie is. Like, they just don't get it. But I mean, and I do kind of understand. Everyone's not going to know who the character is, as far as from a comic perspective. But this isn't like Blade. You know what I mean? This is Superman. Like, this is the character that people who don't even know what comics are knows Superman's character. They know who he is. So no, you can't give me that and expect me to be like, okay, yeah, I'm okay with this. It's ridiculous. It's not a Superman movie. And I'm sorry, Zack Snyder is just terrible. He's just bad.
Yeah,
like he's just bad. Like, he doesn't know how to make a superhero movie. He just really doesn't. It's almost like he was watching what was going on with Marvel, and he was just like, what can I do that's so non-Marvel that he forgets the actual assignment? And the assignment is to actually make a superhero movie. And it's like he forgot all that. I'm gonna do this dark, brooding mess of a superhero stories, and then say, hey, this is a superhero story. No, it doesn't work that way, man.
Which is fine for Batman if you want to do that for Batman, but it's not Batman. It's Superman.
Yeah. I mean, it's just no. Like, and every time I think about that movie, and what's funny is that actually is the better movie out of most Marvel movies, but it's just, I mean, out of DC movies, it's just not saying much because DC movies are trash. Like, but every time I think of Man of Steel, I just can't get over that scene when Kevin Costner is telling him not to save him. I just cannot wrap my mind around that scene.
No sense. It was clearly forced. It's a force.
I understand it.
Yeah, it's I totally understand what you're coming. It just made no sense. It made no sense whatsoever. It's like, this isn't Superman. I remember watching it, like, this is not Superman. It's not Superman. This isn't. Paul Kent wouldn't say that. Paul Kent would not say. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Utter trash. I can't get over it.
Just because you are trying to be different and you make something different doesn't make it good. Just because you say, "Oh, I want to do a more realistic, down to earth, Machiavellian version of Superman," doesn't mean, just because you have this idea doesn't mean it's a good idea, and it clearly shows. You know what I'm saying? Because the movie was, like, get me wrong, it had a lot of potential. I do think Man of Steel had a lot of there's things I like about it, but overall, it just drops the ball. It just utterly drops the ball. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Superman film. Like, that one scene, John, and the one I can't. 3 scenes when he's just going around the Arctic like a vagabond who falls off the face of the earth. That scene, that's not Superman. The one scene where Paul Kent, and the last scene where
when he kills General Zod.
Oh my God! And all the people had to do is get up and walk away. That's all they had to do. Get up and walk away. And it's all they just seem forced. It just seems forced. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Zack Snyder, he's just a horrible director. We gotta be honest. This guy's just terrible.
Yeah, to me, like that last scene too, I just can't. But that was really bad. the scene with Clark Kent, like that's the one that just is forever etched in my mind, and I just can't take the movie serious after that. But yes, the other scene when he's walking around the ark, that one didn't bother me as much. I mean, it's not Superman, yes, but when he kills General Zod at the end, I'm like, what am I even watching now? like it's like one of the fundamental truths of Superman. He doesn't kill. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, did you even bother to pick up a comic like at all and be like, okay, like it's like, come on, man, like just stop it, it's almost as bad. It's almost as bad as having Batman give away his entire fortune to what was it? What was her name? Tatalia or whatever. Yeah. I was just like, no, man. Like, this is Batman we're talking about, man. Like, did you ever read a Batman comic? Like, ever? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Batman. You know, or him retiring or taking off and walking with a limp. Because I was like, what are y'all doing? Like, it's just, I mean, these are really old films we're talking about, but this is the progression. You know, that started way back then, and it's just haunted DC films from that point on, because these are really old films. I mean, Dark Knight Rises, what, 2008 or something like that? You know, 2009. You know, it's a really old film. Horrendous film. It's like, and to be honest with you, I mean, I like the first two. I'm not going to say I don't like the first two, but I had some serious concerns with how he was portraying Bruce Wayne in those movies as well. But man, did it all really just come to head in that third one? And I was just like, man, these guys, man, these directors don't really understand the characters that they're filming.
All the flaws of the first two films, because I really like Batman Begins and I really like Dark Knight. I think both of those movies are really good. But the biggest flaw of those movies is the portrayal of Batman. And that, like you said, it comes to its fruition in that horrid Dark Knight. I mean, Dark Knight Rises, like the Batman the mid to mid 2000s Batman trilogy could have been one of the best trilogies of all time, if not for Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises was a horrid film. And I battle with people about this, especially younger people. Just accept anything. I was like, that movie was so bad that I laughed through the entire movie at how bad it was. I was like laughing my ass off. You know what I'm saying? Not because it was a comedy, but because it was just so bad. I mean, it's especially the parts with Bane.
Oh my god!
I mean,
I was just like,
it was just such a bad film.
Come on, man! Like,
yeah, and I can't stress, you know, just how horrendous the movie is. And for some reason, people, you know, they stand by it, and I'm like,
they love that movie, and I
don't get it. You know, it doesn't. It in no way compares to the first two. It's almost like he's just like, okay, well, I got to make a third one, so, you know. But he's like, he didn't even try. It's like almost like his mind was somewhere else. You know. I mean, think about it. Like, all right, how do you start a movie with a crippled Batman? And the way you explain it is a magical bat brace. It was just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
I mean, just the whole fact that, I mean, and it started with Dark Knight, because the whole him trying to fall on his own sword for what Gotham needs. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah.
Look, Bruce Wayne, Batman, he knows what Gotham needs. And it's a foot straight to the face. And he don't care who he offends to do it. That is the essence of Batman. I don't care. I'm going to do what I feel is necessary to protect Gotham. And that's it. I don't care about how people see me. I don't care about what people think. I don't care about any of that. I'm Batman. I'm going to do what I want. And then I'm going to be out because you can't catch me because I'm too good. And that's all there is to it. The whole idea of him, I'm retiring, there is no retirement. Bruce Wayne doesn't even exist. It's just Batman. Bruce Wayne is his alter ego. Like, but they don't get it. They don't understand. They don't get the character, and that's the reason why DC films are bad, because they don't understand the characters that they're trying to portray. They don't really understand what really makes them tick, and that's the reason why.
It's about that creative team. It's about that creative team, and I'm sorry. When I heard Zack Snyder was going to do Superman, at first I was excited because, well, first it was Superman. First I was excited because I was like, I like 300. I like Day of the Dead. There were some movies in there that he did I didn't like, and I actually liked what was it called? What was the one he did with the Blue Man, the Omnipotent Blue Man? What was it called?
Oh, we call it
damn, what's that
comic book? Watchmen. Watchmen was really good.
It wasn't like my favorite movie, but I enjoyed it. I only watched it maybe twice because it's kind of a long slog, and it's very depressing. So it's not my favorite thing.
Very depressing.
But when I heard he was going to do Superman, I was like, okay. In my head, I was like, so long as he doesn't make Superman into the Watchmen, if he brings the things that he's good at to the film and let other people kind of fill out the rest of it, then we'll get a good film. That did not happen. It did not happen. He tried to make Superman into the Watchmen, and that's not Superman. Right. The Watchmen is a corruption of what Superman is, to tell a darker tale. You can't make Superman into that. You can't make Superman a killer.
He's literally the symbol of hope. Like, it's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, it was a corruption. It was a corruption of the entire mythos, and he should be forever shamed for it. For his responsibility. He should take responsibility for putting crap out there, because that's what he did. That's what he did. And matter of fact, they just need to take the camera away from him, because his movies
Did you watch Rebel Moon?
I tried. I couldn't watch it. It was like it's unwatchable. Kind of like this Glow movie. What's this called? I Saw the Glow. It's unwatchable. It's an unwatchable movie. I tried. I really did. Yeah.
I haven't tried Rebel Moon yet, but as soon as I saw that Zack Snyder was behind it, I kind of lost. I was like, well, maybe I don't need to watch this. And it's so disappointing too, because I really love Dawn of the Dead. It's like one of my favorite zombie movies. Like Dawn of the Dead and 28 Days Later, from that time period. Those are like my favorite zombie movies. Like, really up there with like my favorite horror movies from that time period.
I put
really well done.
When it comes to zombie movies from that era, it's Dawn of the Dead, 28 Days Later, and believe it or not, a lot of people sleep on this movie, Crazies.
What? Crazies was amazing.
Crazies was a good freaking movie, man.
Heck, yeah.
Orlando, have you ever seen that?
Great.
You ever seen that? Here, I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Crazies.
I feel like an image might jog my memory on it or something.
Yeah. Carbon, have you ever seen this movie?
But Crazies, though, didn't that come out? That didn't come out the same time as those movies, though, didn't it? I thought that was much later.
This was like 2010 or something like that, right?
Oh,
yeah,
2010.
I've never seen this. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, this song was good, man.
Let me see. And when did this come out?
So it's 2010. Okay, so I guess it was kind of in that time frame.
But I'm gonna start working if I mess around with this internet too much.
Yeah,
2010.
Yeah, because 28 Days Later and The Dawn of the Dead, that's like when I was like in high school. But yeah, Crazy wasn't too long afterwards. But no, it was really good though.
Yeah, people sleep on that one, man.
28 Weeks Later was good too, because that was a sequel. That wasn't bad either.
Yeah,
it was as good.
It actually wasn't that bad. Yeah,
but it was.
Usually sequels
was good.
Not good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I want to see some good horror movies this October, man. I hope some good stuff comes out.
Hopefully,
A lot of crap music comes out too. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, because I know they might already release that one with Jon Snow. What is it called? The Beast Within, I think.
I tried watching. I fell asleep on it. I got bored.
Oh, it wasn't good.
I don't know. I didn't finish it. I never went back to it. So it could be good. I got bored with it. I just never went back to it.
Oh, okay. Oh, we did watch that one that everyone was talking about on Netflix. What was it called? It was the one that was based off of the true story. It was like an exorcism type movie. What was it called? Can't remember what it's called now.
I'm actually getting tired of like.
It was about the black family. Dang, what was it called?
It was about a black family.
Yeah, like it was a black mom and her what was it, her 3 kids. It was
I
like
think you're talking
type
about
movie,
and it was a haunted house, but she was like beating the kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Uncle Dave was telling me about the movie. Yeah, I haven't actually seen it.
Yeah, we watched that. We watched that one too. I'll say this: it was a different take on that genre. It was a little different, but it definitely could have been better.
Yeah,
it definitely could have been better. But I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great either. Yeah, that genre might just be played out.
Yeah, the whole exorcism. Yeah, like I don't mind.
The kids liked it though, so
they liked it. Yeah,
yeah, they enjoyed it. But even that new Exorcist movie, did you ever watch that one with the 2 girls?
No, I didn't bother. I was like, the Exorcist movie done. They need to stop.
I mean, I'm such a huge fan. I can't help but to watch it. I just, get disappointed almost every time that I do watch it. Even though I did like that early 2000s one with what was it?
Like Exorcist
the Beginning or something like that. Yeah.
Remember, it was too tight. It was 2 different versions of that movie, though. It was like Exorcist Beginning and Exorcist Dominion. I can't remember.
So not the first one, the one that they redid. But I like that version.
I like that version too because it was basically the Exorcist. The way they got possessed was if you go to the place where Satan first touched down on Earth.
Yes,
that was a cool
version. Yeah, that was because it wasn't just the same. They didn't just try to rehash.
Yeah,
the 1970s version or 1960s version. They brought something new to the table. I thought that's the reason why that one kind of stood out.
Yeah,
because the last one that they did with the 2 girls, I mean, it was pretty much a rehash of. Well, I'll take that back. It wasn't a total rehash, but it was a rehash because what they did was because it was 2 of them, they tried to add all the different religions in. So it wasn't just like a Catholic. They had everyone there to try to exorcise the girls. And it was just kind of like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But
yeah, I think the problem with
once again, genre, the kids liked it.
Yeah. I think the problem right now with the horror genre is that there's just not a lot of originality. Like you're starting to see, like you'll watch a movie and be like, oh, it's another haunted house movie. Oh, it's another exorcism movie. Oh, it's another, supernatural vampire movie or whatever. And that's my fear for Sinners. It's not enough. Like I said, like I was saying before, it's not enough to put a black face on it. It's not enough to make it a period piece. It has to have a compelling and interesting story. and you're gonna have to have some actors that really bring the characters to life.
Mm.
And that's different between myself and a lot of the black lovers of popular culture that I see on YouTube and a lot of Facebook groups I'm on. Man, it's like if it has a black face, it's an actor that's somewhat popular, and it's just not just downright trash, like just straight, D level movie or whatever. They're gonna say, "Oh, it's good." And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, I got high standards." Just because you put Michael B. Jordan in the movie doesn't make it good. Just because you put Wesley Snipes in the movie doesn't make it good. Just because you put Denzel Washington in the movie doesn't make it good. You know what I'm saying? You have to be creative. Do something creative with what it is that you're doing. I can't wait for you guys because Carnell, I think, is going to come by next week, and he's going to narrate my my story I don't know if you guys seen this. I've been posted it on but this right here is the artwork that I'm doing for one of the short horror stories that I've been working on. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Let me get rid of this. So
I'm about to say, get rid of the other.
Yeah, so the audience can see it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So but this right here is the artwork that I'm working on for it, and I put the story inside the what's it called, the text to voice reader thing, and just let it, and so I can just hear it, not read it, just hear it, see how it sounds, because a lot of these AI voices are getting better, but I still want like an actual person to narrate it so we can actually do the nuances.
Right.
And I think I got something here, guys. I think it's the original take on like because it's not really a possession, it's not demon possession, it's more of like what they will call archons. And archons are kind of like these, supposed to be like these extra dimensional entities that feed off people's like emotions or whatever. It's like a different take on that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
isn't that what demons do though?
Well, demons actually possess people too.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, but I mean, they feed on the emotionally charged ones, though.
Yeah, I guess there's different types of demons. I guess there would be a type of demon or whatever.
Right.
But this is a different take on that. It's like it's the way I'm doing it is different. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can't wait to release. I'm gonna try and have it done by Halloween. I don't know, because I've never done anything like this before, as far as what I want to do with it, the way I want to present it to the public. So we'll see, though. We'll see. I'm trying to keep it simple.
How long?
Huh?
How long is it? You saying you're trying to have it done before?
Well, there's two parts to it. And when you actually like sit down and read it, I think the first part only takes like 10, 15 minutes to read. And then the second part takes about like 21 minutes to read. And the second part is where it really takes out. Like the first part is kind of almost just really like an introduction. It creates the setting, it creates the mood, it introduces you to the characters, but it's nothing really that original. It's the second part where it's like, okay, it really starts to get into what's going on. So that's the part I'm really most excited about. But I know I got to do the first part to kind of get the setup, going or whatever. But basically all it's about is like, it's like the security guard, this guy right here. He works in this building owned by this company called Perilous Incorporated. And inside the lobby of the building, the company's mascot is this giant bull, right? But it's like a giant bronze bull. And it's really ghastly looking. And he even thinks in his head when he sees it, when he greets it every day, it's like, okay, why would you put this in a lobby to greet, guests? Like, it's so ghastly looking, like, you know what I'm saying? And also in the lobby, there's I think it's like 15 pillars. And most of them are red and they lead towards where the bull is. And right behind the bull, there's a giant black pillar, right? And inscribed in that giant black pillar are the words "Aldebaran," right? And behind that black pillar, the pillar is so large that the actual security office is built inside the pillar, so it's behind the pillar. And that's where the story kind of takes place for the most part, is that lobby and inside the security office. Because the way I'm trying to write the story is, if this ever could get made into like a little animated short or a live action short, it's small scale enough to where it'd be very cheap to film, because it's only like 2 locations, and the entire story is basically a conversation between the security guard and the CEO of the company, which is this guy right here. Is his name is Xanthos von Dracos, or they just call him Zan, Zan for short. But yeah, man, it's gonna be pretty cool. I can't wait to get it narrated. You know.
That's
do some voiceover work, Orlando. You want to do some voiceover work?
Man, if I can start getting them, what is it, on Saturdays off, man, you know.
Yeah.
So,
because the second one I want to do is that one you read with the creatures under the Mariana Trench, and the guy takes the ship and goes down there. That's the second one I want to do. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, man. Yeah. I'll see what I can do, man. Just let me know, man. I have to, make some stuff like that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah. Any projects you guys working on? Carbon, what you working on?
I was trying to draw the character, but it's not really good. I mean, it's okay.
God, man.
Practicing your drawing? Yeah.
I was trying to come up with some concept for like the domino demon or whatever we called it earlier.
Yeah.
I was trying to. I don't think this is good, but
the domino demon. I know there's a way to make this. Make your screen.
Yeah, you can zoom into somebody's screen. That's what you're trying to do, because you just did it earlier when you was doing your thing.
Well, I did it to mine, but how do I do it to somebody else's?
Hold up. Actually, I don't have the setting yet. I don't have like the settings or whatever yet.
See, I can do it to my own. For some reason, I can't. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I don't know how to do it.
You might have to give me like the extra missions or whatever. You didn't. I know there's like a way you can do that, which I don't have.
There's a way I can do it too. I've seen people do it before. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My other project for Halloween is I wanted to this is what I'm working on right now, is I was going to take the first Vampire Freedom album we did, and I was going to do sketches for each song and release them as singles. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing too extravagant, so that way I can get it done quickly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know how to zoom in. I can just share my screen.
Yeah, there's a way. I don't know if you have to like. I think if I click on yours. Oh yeah, here we go. Solo layout. There we go. I made you solo layout.
Oh yeah, I want to say I'm not that good at drawing, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, explain your concept. Like what it is. What are you trying to do?
So we were doing like kind of dominoes, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to go with kind of like casino kind of look, because I feel like it's kind of ideas I could do it since it's kind of dominoes. That'd be more of a dice than domino, but it's kind of go with like the casino.
Do they play dominoes in a casino? I don't know.
I don't remember casino. I don't know, man. You tell me. I mean,
yeah.
You guys know anything about casinos? I mean, I probably should have researched before I started doing it. But
at picnics.
Like what games use the dominoes? I can base off of that. I kind of start based off kind of casino looks. Like a little thing, like a little hat up here.
Yeah, because the idea is the character is supposed to have like, because he's trying to do a design for a 3D model. He wants to do to enter a Halloween contest, and part of the contest is you have to be creative with scaling. Like something about your character has to get scale, right? Like getting larger or getting smaller, right? And so we were kind of brainstorming today. He came up with this thing with the bow tie. Like you have this character that has a black and white bow tie. One side is black, the other side is white. And if you click on the white one, you see the more angelic version of the character. But when you click on the black one, she'll grow into like this more demonic form. You know what I'm saying? And we started calling it the Domino Demon because of the whole black and white aesthetic. So he's going to try to, he's going to try to insert dominoes into the character design somehow.
But that's the hard part. I don't know how to do that, bro. It's a lot harder for me to draw than like make a 3D character. I don't draw a lot, so it's like just trying to draw it is always the first issue. By the time I get it drawn, I just forgot the idea. You know?
Yeah, I would say don't try not to get too. Right now, it seems like you're trying to do a character design that you can map your model over. I wouldn't do that because I don't think your skill level is there yet. Focus just on sketching with the concept, like what it is you're trying to convey. Not so much trying to create a character design. Sketch what you're trying to convey, and be more free form with your lines instead of being so strict. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I'm saying, Carbon?
Yeah.
Like actually sketch out, even if it doesn't look that good, sketch out what it is you're trying to convey. You see what I'm saying? Rather than trying to, or I'm going to sit here, I'm going to do this T-pose, or I'm going to be this perfect character design, so my model will be perfect. Don't do that because you're already good enough with anatomy to create your character in 3D. Your sketch is supposed to be getting your idea down on paper quickly. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, Brian, if our teacher could hear you say this, oh man, they took our erasers away. He was like, "No, you just be free with it, man." He was so proud.
Be free with it. Yeah.
You got I don't draw a whole lot, so it's the first time I draw in months.
Coming along though, Carbon.
Hey, what?
No, I think it's definitely coming along though.
I don't know about that. I don't draw a lot, so
I mean, just the simple fact that you drawing, you know what I'm saying? You know, just in the last conversation I probably heard with us, you know, we were trying to get you to, you know, like sketch your ideas out on paper before you start going to the, you know, 3D and stuff like that, to kind of have some kind of reference to go off, you know, kind of get your ideas. But yeah, I mean,
I gotta kind of do it this time because I don't have a lot of time for competition like how I would with the others. I don't have a goal of this, so I'm only gonna have 2 weeks, so I can't afford to waste a lot of time in 3D how I normally would do.
Is this kind of like something like October, or like what's called Arttoberfest type of deal? Or it's just,
it has nothing to do with October. It'd be something for VR chat.
Okay, gotcha.
It does have something to do with October. It's a kind of spooky contest, right?
Oh, he said Arttober. Did he say Arttober or did he say October?
I know, but he's saying the general. Yeah.
I guess if you're saying like that, then because I know Arttober is like a specific thing.
We used to try to do that. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I mean, it's just sketches. I mean, the thing we was doing was just like simple sketches and just posting something out.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing with this VFF thing. Because I want to have this is my sketches for, even though I'm doing a little bit more sketches. I'm actually doing line work now.
I look way more than the sketch, man.
But that's my goal though, was to get, because I wanted to be good enough I could put on a t-shirt and put it on the thing. Yeah. But I'm not going to do more than line work and flat colors. So that's where I'm not going to, no painting. No painting. Line work and flat colors.
That's too much.
So that's what I'm
I can't paint in 3D. Next thing I can paint on 2D.
Yeah, that's so.
But yeah, guys, we don't have anything else to say. We can end it here. I think we covered all our bases. I will say that I will be covering some Halloween movies. I haven't finished making my list yet, but I'll make my list and I'll send it to you guys and my schedule. If you guys want to join in, that's cool. If not,
yeah, definitely. I just want to be off. The day wise, I took off, but normally I work on Saturday.
I'll probably usually try to do it like on a Saturday, but
okay. I mean, I get off late, so I mean, I might can chime in after a while.
But
yeah, I was gonna say too that you know, I've been working on some music, so I got something about to come out.
I've been listening to some of it. Yeah.
I got that purple soundscape. I mean, I got the little. I don't know if y'all probably really can't see it. I don't probably. it's still in the works. It's not finished and all, but it's coming along. But I wanted to animate it, but since I went with a different design thing for it, so I don't know. I might not. I mean, it's gonna be simple animation, just the little tape wheels turning, but gotta see like her hair kind of moving and stuff. But yeah, definitely got some stuff about to drop. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I'm trying to do some Halloween type music too. So I don't know. I'll see. I got this little sample pack I'm trying to mess around with. But and too, Uncle Dave was on here, man. I was gonna ask him, man, if he had updated his MPC to the MPC 3. And I was gonna ask him how does he like it? I mean, to me, it's a lot better, man. I mean, it is a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not bad. I was just a little afraid of the learning curve, but once you dive into it and you know how it goes, like okay, so I just kind of want to get his take on the new interface of the MPC, but yeah, it's all good. But that's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah, just send me the list, and some of the stuff I've probably already seen, but send me the list. And
it's gonna be a mix. It's gonna be a mixture of old movies and new movies that's come out this year. Because there's some horror movies that I don't see a lot of people talking about that I think should get more coverage. So some of those are going to be on the list, and then the other ones will be stuff that none of us have seen, and we'll have to actually try to watch it before the show. So yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
But all right, guys, we'll end it here. Thanks for coming up. Thanks for whoever's watching, even if it's only probably like one person. Like I said, I haven't really been pushing the album yet because we haven't quite got the store together. But once I think October 12th, we're going to meet up and try and get a store together. But after that, man, I'm going to start pushing that thing. We already got like almost 300 views, and I haven't pushed it or shared it or anything. So
yeah, because I was going to ask you, I didn't know if you wanted to sharing it out yet. But I mean, if you still want to share it out,
you can.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. I know you mentioned something about the store. I thought you. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll start pushing.
Yeah, you can start pushing, or you can wait till after October 12th. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. When I be like push, I'm going to put some money on it, like put ads, like put some money on the commercial and stuff like that. But if you want to share,
I'll start doing my mad share blast.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll end it here. Again, thank you for coming up.
Cool.
And I'll send you guys all the schedule for Halloween.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Peace out.
Everybody.
Other things, I don't know what else I'm gonna try doing though. I don't know.
What was that?
I'll try